welcome to, unfortunately, I don't know if I did my talking screen yet. Let's see if I oh, come on, I didn't fix it yet. Oh dear God. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Switch the screen. Switch the screen. See if I can make it smaller, just a tad. Okay. More. Sorry I'm doing this while I'm live, but yeah. There was this situation I had where I decided I am fed up with trying to use this freaking laptop. So, and I do apologize for my son. He is calling the cats. And the more I'm asking nicely, I am streaming, please be quiet. You know how children are. They don't really give a shit. Okay, so what I wanted to say is that I wanted to stream Phasmophobia so badly, but unfortunately we couldn't because of the laptop. So we're not going to be streaming Phasmophobia tonight. I just want to do my brightness settings quickly. A little bit more, cause damn. Alright, let's see that. That's a bit too bright, isn't it? Does it look unnatural? No, it actually doesn't. See on the big screen. Yeah, that actually looks good. Okay. So we were playing Phasmophobia yesterday. I went on and I had some fun with some guys, random guys. I thought to myself, let's get some levels, I'm gonna stream it tonight, which unfortunately I'm not gonna do. Once again, I'm sorry for that. And there was these two guys were really, really something else. They were making jokes the whole time. It was funny as hell. And this one kid joined us, and he had a high rank, and I thought to myself, wow, we're going to do the challenge mode. This is going to be fun. And this kid joined us, and he was going like, it's a Moroi, trust me, it's a Moroi, trust me. And we're like, okay, what makes you so sure it's a Moroi? He was like, just trust me, it's a Moroi, trust me. So we all voted Moroi, and this kid was correct. So it was a case of what the hell? Okay, maybe it was just luck, maybe it was something else, I don't know. So basically we hopped into another game. No. This kid was like, let's up the ante. Let's go higher. And we decided, okay, we're going to make this a little bit more challenging for him. Why is my microphone still soft? Just let me see my settings. I don't get it. Okay, let's try that. Maybe set the decibels up a little bit more. Properties. Oh, that's weird. Alright, let's bring the microphone closer then. Alright, so that sounds a little bit better. Let's see if I do this, maybe it brings up the microphone a little bit more. That sounds a lot better too. Yeah, so basically we decided to up the ante. Okay, this is confusing the shit out of me because I can hear myself talk. Decided to up the ante, and this kid was like, okay, let's go all the way. And like, what? Okay, What's the highest difficulty? The highest difficulty obviously is the 15 times multiplier. And we were like, okay, let's up the ante even more. And we decided to go to what is it? Sunny Meadows. Sunny Meadows, and entered Sunny Meadows with the times 15 multiplier. This kid walks into the front foyer, stands there for literally 15 seconds. You can count it. 1001, 1002, 15 seconds, right? Comes out. It didn't hunt yet, it's a shade. We were all looking at each other going like, what? And we were joking about it. So, we marked shade, we hit the van up, it's a shade. So, we simply just knew this kid was cheating. There's no way in hell this kid could know this. Alright? So it's basically a matter of, I'm just trying to keep the Xbox on. So it's just a matter of how is he cheating, or how much is he cheating. So we decided to go to an easier map. We decided 6 Tanglewood on insane difficulty. Just for, no. Insane difficulty. We went to Tanglewood. This kid put on the head cam. We were like, okay, this kid is going to know exactly what's happening. As we were following the head cam, this kid walked into the house and he started no clipping. He started walking through walls. And at a stage, the ghost started hunting him. He went straight through the ghost. Like, literally, as the ghost came towards him, he went right through the ghost without dying. We were sitting there going, what do we do now? Because we're playing with a cheating kid, of course. And the guys were like, okay, but we don't know how to report him. I said, okay, it's easy. You open your book, you do this, and then you report him. So all the 3 of us reported him. I accidentally reported the other guy, one of my fellow players that were mocking him. I said to him, listen, I accidentally reported you. I don't know how to unreport you, so they're going to investigate your game, but then obviously not going to find anything, so it's fine. But the other kid, we said, no clipping, can't die. There was even a stage where where we and the kid were running around inside the house, and the ghost wasn't hunting. We couldn't complete the ghost events because I, for the fun of it, said, let's do the ghost events. And this kid put on, the ghost cannot hunt. We couldn't complete the ghost events. It's like, what? How do we do this? So after all 3 of us reported him, eventually confirming without a doubt that this kid is cheating, we kicked him out. And then we started playing real Phasmophobia. So guys, I wish I could have recorded this. It was hilarious. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be streaming Phasmo anymore. It's simply just a matter of I can't. I need the money to buy better equipment to stream Phasmophobia. I really, really want to, but I need another computer. My computer, you can check the specs, DDR3. The laptop is freezing every time I want to stream. I simply just can't. Okay, so we're going to continue with the Xbox. Oh shit, I don't know if I adjusted this yet. Oh wait, I did actually. Live screen top left. No. I could have sworn I adjusted it. Wait. Live screen top left. Yeah, this one, yeah. Xbox live screen top left. Okay, there we go. So, Now, we can start playing. Yay! So unfortunately, we're going to be playing CSI Fatal Conspiracy. Now this is a game I bought today. And I actually gave it a go earlier. It was quite fun. I had a lot of fun with it, so this is what we're going to be doing. I'm a huge CSI fan. And then as from tomorrow night, we're going to be doing Devil May Cry. I think those are the 2 games we're going to be doing, but unfortunately this is what it comes to, Xbox games only. Sucks. We just hear if the sound is working on the Xbox game.
The place was called Superla Spa. It was a full-service establishment. Massage tables, salon chairs, mud baths, etc. The explosion went off a little after 3. A squad car was 2 blocks away when the place went up, so the fire department was able to respond within 4 minutes. Not that it helped. The place was fully engulfed by the time they arrived. They were just lucky to keep it contained to just this building.
I didn't know there was a spa down here.
Building's been here since the late 70s, but it's only been a spa since '98. The gentleman in the corner there is Pete Baxa. His company owns Superla Spa. I took his statement, but you'll want to follow up with him too. Have you 2 met yet?
Not officially. I'm Sarah Seidel. The team speaks very highly of you. You want to take that interview?
This is the CSI tutorial. You can turn it off at any time by...
Okay, so, yeah, that's basically...
Your objective is changed. The left stick always moves the cursor. The right stick always moves the camera. The PDA allows you to examine evidence, look over... The options menu allows you to change system and gameplay parameters. It's also where you can re-enable the tutorial, should you decide to turn it off.
I just did. Please. Dun. Okay, so... music can go up 1 more. Oh no, ambience is too loud. Ambience and music can be the same. There we go, dialogue. Save and load. Main menu. Right. Okay. So basically, what this game entails, you have to find evidence. I already did the first stage. I did it with the tutorial on. I missed some evidence somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but... so every time it makes a icon like this,
One mud bath contains a lot more mud than the others. It might just be the way they do it. But the one next to it is filled only up to the line on the side of the tub. That mud is baked solid. We're going to need a way to examine it inside and out, without actually breaking it up and compromising potential evidence. You know, the other day, Catherine was telling me that we have access to an industrial ultrasound device. It sounds perfect for this problem. I'll give her a call.
don't have enough to get that evidence yet, which is okay. So it's actually very easy. The game actually picks the correct item for you. You just have to figure out, is it fluids, collection, fingerprints, or casting. We don't need to cast anything, and there's obviously no fingerprints you have to get. And there's no reason to look for fluids, so we are doing collection.
We should take samples of soot from all around this place to see if we can find traces of an accelerant.
Okay, so we just took samples of soot. Basically all kinds of, you know. The funny thing is some of the arrows are misleading. Sucks. Okay, so now, okay, another evidence item. This one is casting, obviously it's a big hole. So casting is definitely what we want to do.
Look at how it's burned away from its frame. Drywall is usually fire resistant. Those holes could be there to let more air fan the fire and get to that wooden frame underneath.
Thus causing the building to collapse.
That could indicate arson, but we'll need a lot more evidence to prove it.
Of course we do, sericidal. It's just funny how sericidal and suicidal are so close to each other. It's actually intriguing. No? Okay, that is evidence one. We've already did this. So basically when the lady is coming over a little bit later. Okay, we can obviously go in there. Just want to see what evidence I missed, because I missed a small thing, something minuscule, something tiny even. Yeah, I know, there's nothing. So, which also means I won't be streaming any more freelance, unfortunately. I wish I could see the fire extinguisher though, but it keeps on going to the microwave.
If this thing was on last night, we could have our ignition source.
Yeah, and you can clearly see it's a muffin.
It's hard to tell what this was. Not much left of it. Judging from the charring in the inside of the oven, it was in there for long enough to catch fire. It's almost like a timed fuse.
Muffin.
So far, that's two things that point to arson. We'll need more evidence to be sure.
Yeah. Can't really see anything, it's so dark. And my brightness settings. Oh wait, I can actually do my brightness settings. Okay, hang on guys. Let me just see if I can do my brightness settings quickly. Let's use USB capture, properties, configure video. Wat is dit my kind, ek is besig. Oh yeah, I did forget to do my brightness. Kan ek dit nou doen asseblief? Okay, no, asseblief, no. Dankie. Okay, so I managed to make it brightness so we can see stuff. See, all of this goes back there. Okay, but at the top I know the ceiling thing. I know about the ceiling thing.
Popcorn style ceiling. Hold your breath while you're taking that sample. If it's as old as it looks, it's probably got asbestos in it.
See, and then there's nothing more to collect. That's the weird thing. So you're basically just collecting asbestos. Everybody knows if you're exposed to asbestos for long periods of time, you can actually get asbestos poisoning or asbestos in the lungs. And that bottle lying there is very dodgy, but anyway, we're not here for the bottle. We're here for collection. No. other collection. There we go.
I think if we can get one more sample of soot after this one, we'll have enough.
Yeah. But it only turns sideways, so nothing more you can collect here. You can also go into this room. Right, and back here, you can also do some collecting against the wall here.
We've gathered soot from all over this place. Should be enough.
Okay, for some reason I can't really... Okay. So this is the other thing I want to collect, is over here. And this of course is casting, because you can basically see that it's been cut. It's too straight.
Look at the crimping along the edges of the split gas line. I'd say it was cut. That's the third sign of possible arson we've found. I'm almost convinced.
Almost convinced it's arson. Well, you have to give it to her. You have to kind of give it to her. See, the funny thing is there's a little arrow pointing up here, but it goes down here again. So okay. Another way to look if you've collected all the evidence is if you press locations. If it gives a little right, like a little right tick there, it means you've collected everything. Obviously, I haven't collected everything.
Hi, Pedro Baja. Baja, like Baja California. But call me Pete. Everyone does. Well, almost everyone.
You in charge of this place, Pete?
I'm the CEO of Miel LLC. It's less impressive than it sounds. It's basically a holding company for a few mom-and-pop style businesses that were worth rescuing when the original owners wanted out. The company owns Super La Spa. What's left of it.
We'll need to know your insurance provider.
We'll have to notify the claims adjuster when we've released the scene.
Actually, this is kind of embarrassing, but the policy on this place has lapsed.
You let the fire insurance on one of your businesses expire?
It's complicated. We sent them a payment, but they said they didn't get it. Then they wanted us to pay a late fee and raise our premium. I mean, we've done business with them for years, and now they decide to penalize us over a little slip-up?
We'll talk to you later.
I have some things I need to take care of. Here's my card, at least until the next board meeting. You can reach me at my office.
Now we're living in the future. I'm still waiting for my flying car, but seeing through walls isn't too shabby.
I have a rough idea, but remind me again how the device works.
Just turn it on and point the wand at whatever you want to scan. The sound waves it emits penetrate at different speeds depending on the density of the material.
And the onboard computer translates that into a picture, is that right?
You got it. I don't think I need to tell you to be careful with it, but be careful with it.
Yeah, because it was cost $100 million. Okay, so you can clearly see this is a bone, leg, foot. What the f... Don't do that. Okay, and then when you get to the face, dong. There's someone in there.
Does that look like a human body to you? It looks like we have a victim after all. I'll call Doc Robbins for a pickup.
A pickup or a pick-me-up?
Cleaning her off is just the first step. This is going to take a while. I'll give you a call when I have something for you.
Yeah, because damn, this looks...
You'll have to forgive me. Baking the victim in mud and then exhuming her aren't exactly the ingredients for the most efficient autopsy. I'll give you a call when I have something for you.
Okay, now when first I started playing the game, it was easy to determine the sex of the victim, because if you look at this, there are breasts, curves. You can actually see it quite easily, but the most easiest way to identify that it's a female is by looking at the painted toenails. If the other items were not a giveaway, then that surely was. I didn't really see lipstick because her lips were so fucking scarred. It's like, damn. Okay, I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Oh my goodness, there's a table back here. Okay, maybe that's what I missed last time. But there's the doc's computer. And here is Sericidal, obviously, if you want to ask some questions and what. So, locations. You can see there's a little right tick, like a right tick there. So that means you have collected all the evidence from the crime scene. Now you know. Move on. Let's go. Before processing the evidence, you have to process the evidence individually. You can't do anything with smut. Obviously, you're the one that collected it. And this as well. There's nothing you will be able to find with this. The muffin is something you collected from the crime scene. So obviously you can like play around with it, see if you can find something in there. Maybe a hair or whatever, but in this case there's nothing. I have thoroughly examined this. You can see the raspberry or the raisins, the burnt raisins in there, if even it has any. Once again, you collected, but here is also something that was given to you. So if you were to examine it a little bit closer, you will find that there's something to be found. Fluids. What fluids will be on a business card? There was no blood at the scene, so obviously you're not looking at fluids, and I don't need to remind you that you don't need to look for the other fluids on the business card. Nothing you can see, so nothing for collection. Casting, obviously not, so it's going to be fingerprints, obviously.
It was nice of Mr. Baja to give us his fingerprint like that.
Yes, it was. We'll be using that a little bit later. But see how it's got right marks? It means you have thoroughly processed what you have found. Now you can go into here and you can go to the computer and see. By the way, they use Trend Micro to keep their computers virus free. So when you're putting in the evidence, remember you can... Why is it not giving me a search button? Okay, that's weird. Well, last time it gave me a search button. Okay, so we don't have any evidence there. For computer analysis, we don't have any evidence. I like being thorough. This evidence here is if you've got visual or audio evidence. And then, obviously, if finished here, go to this side over here. Sericidal is, Swellix appeared by the way. Then you can actually move to your left. Here is the DNA computer. One million viruses found. Okay, so chemicals, we can now do an analysis of the chemicals. So if you hit the search button, I love this. This is my favorite part. So we've got a match there. We don't have a match there. Got a match there. Confirm. Everything's lined up.
It's mostly carbon, but there are traces of volcanic minerals and acetone. The mud at the spa is made of volcanic ash. The acetone is an anomaly. Acetone is sometimes used as an accelerant. We should test the rest of the soot we've collected.
So, ladies, if you're using acetone, know that you are using an accelerant on your fingers. Stop doing that. I really need a quality video capture card as well. Alright, just need one more. There we go. Done.
There's quite a bit of carbon from where it burned. But there's also wheat flour, tapioca starch, and sodium carboxymethylcellulose. What I'm not seeing are any animal proteins. You know what? I think this is a vegan pastry of some kind. A muffin from the size of it.
Yeah, no shit. That's what I said. But they have to be thorough, so you can't guess it's a muffin. You have to be sure it's a muffin. Voila. We have a match.
It's primarily calcium sulfate and asbestos. That explains why the ceiling didn't burn.
Yeah, well, not the experience I had with my exploding asbestos, but anyway. To me it was sold as highly flammable. Not that one. There we go.
The soot from the break room contains carbon, acetone, and T-butyl mercaptan. That's the odorant they use in natural gas. That's the second sample of soot to contain acetone. Let's keep analyzing the soot samples we've collected. I think we're onto something. Lots of carbon, some acetone, and trace amounts of T-butyl mercaptan. We have acetone, a known accelerant, in samples of soot taken from every room in the spa. We've got a gas leak that looks to be the result of tampering. The drywall here has been ventilated to get around its natural fireproofing. And then there's this acetone residue over every inch of the place. Throw a muffin in the toaster oven at 450 degrees. Then just leave it in there without setting the timer. Sounds like a recipe for arson.
Hey there, it's Dr. Robbins. Just wanted to let you know I've completed the autopsy on your burn victim.
So, I already did this in my previous game, but you can now compare the evidence. So you can use this and then go over something else and see if you can line them up. But unfortunately, there's no match to any of these, because everything is different in some way or another, because it's acetone mixed with something. But the next investigation I haven't done yet, so I won't know. Okay, we don't have any DNA yet, that's why it's empty. And now you move on to the next computer, which is this one. Now if you go look at the evidence, you can actually look there and zoom it in, but the reason it's not doing anything, even if you get the full perspective of it, is because you don't have something to compare it to. You need to compare it to something. It took me a while to figure that out. Document analysis is if you have a document that you can't read. Microscopic comparison is to compare once again to something. You don't have anything to compare it to, so you're wasting your time if you're trying to do this. Then this is a table to thoroughly examine something, and these are the pictures of the crime scene. So you can actually go and say, oh, this is nice, you know, they got the pictures, but you can't really look at them closely or whatever, you know, it's just there for decorative purposes. So now, with evidence, you basically have everything marked except what caused this and what caused the breakage. Now you go to locations. The doctor will see us now.
Hey Doc, we got your call.
All right, let's begin.
Who is she?
Well, her bikini probably left no room for imagination, nor an ID, but I did collect her fingerprints and DNA for you.
What's the cause of death?
Take a look at the third-degree burns on your victim's hands and face. You can probably tell that they were above the surface of the mud during the initial explosion and subsequent fire. In addition to the burns to her skin, she suffered thermal injury to her upper airway. She inhaled a substantial amount of smoke and hot gases from the fire. Carboxyhemoglobin levels in her blood exceeded 73%. Cause of death was suffocation due to carbon monoxide poisoning. In a fire that intense, carbon monoxide levels would spike rapidly. She probably fell unconscious pretty quick. Most likely, she slipped under the mud after losing consciousness.
When did she die?
Time of death is going to be difficult to determine. Even without the fire, the initial temperature of the mud bath complicates my ability to offer an accurate estimate. I was able to extract samples of the vitreous humor from both eyes. Potassium accumulation in the tissue indicates time of death between 3 and 4 a.m.
That's consistent with when the fire started.
Any signs of foul play?
Not exactly, but take a look at this bruising on her arm. Does that look like a handprint to you?
Yeah. Looks like someone grabbed her pretty hard.
From the coloration of the bruising, I'd say it occurred at least 6 to 12 hours prior to death. I certainly find no indication she was lying in that mud over a prolonged period of time.
We need to get a photo of those bruises. My camera's memory card is full. You mind documenting this one?
I'll wait.
So once again, if you go over her body now while it's lying on the bed, it only gives you the opportunity to take the photo, which obviously you go to collection for.
Nice composition.
Right, so no other evidence is available to be collected. And I actually want to look on this table. Is there anything on the table for me? And I don't see it. Damn! So Doc, anything else we should know about?
Maybe. Your victim had advanced mesothelioma. It's a type of cancer that attacks the lining of the vital organs. It's thought to be caused most often by exposure to asbestos. It looks as though it was an ongoing problem for her. I discovered indications of a pleurectomy, the removal of the outermost lining of the lungs. From the scar tissue, that surgery probably took place a few years ago. She may have thought she was out of the woods. Unfortunately, I found an active malignancy in her pericardium, the lining of her heart. She didn't have long to live.
You know, we found some asbestos at the crime scene. The whole ceiling was coated with it. There was even a corner of the break room where it had come down. You don't suppose our victim set the fire, do you? Revenge and suicide all in one? We'll have to ask Brass if she filed any kind of complaint.
Did she know she had cancer?
Well, the pleurectomy obviously suggests at one point she knew she had cancer. but there's no way to know whether she was aware it had recently metastasized to her heart. I ran an expanded tox screen. She hadn't been taking any cancer medications, and I didn't find any tissue damage from possible radiation treatments. I did, however, find evidence of a persistent, dare I say, habitual use of cannabis. You know, a Harvard Medical School study concluded that one of the active chemicals in marijuana, THC, may in fact inhibit the growth of certain tumor classifications, even though it says right there in the press release that the growth of some other tumors might actually be accelerated by THC. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest, right? So now the idea that weed cures cancer is spreading far and wide.
Thanks, Doc.
Anytime.
Okay, so that's our lovely doctor telling us exactly what the situation is, was, and will be. And with all the evidence we got, we can go and say hello to Pete Baxa at his office, place of work.
Looks like Mr. Baja isn't here, but we could always knock.
So basically, if you're looking at the crime scene, well, not the crime scene per se, but at this man's lovely place, you won't find a damn thing here. Because the only thing you can do is knock.
No answer.
And that's what you're gonna get every time. So we got the Vix thingies, so we can basically go and look at her. Stuffies. There's nothing here, but you can always go and look at DNA, of course. You can search.
She's not in CODIS.
She's not in CODIS, meaning she didn't do anything wrong. Now we still have her fingerprints. See if we can scan her here. Because at this point she's...
Our victim's not an APHIS. Our Jane Doe doesn't seem to be in the system. Maybe Pete Baja knows her.
And also, you can see there's a clear difference between Pete Baja's and the victim's fingerprints. But you all know this, right? So now, if you go into his place, he'll be open. It's a thing you have to do.
Oh, hey, you two. I just got back. What do you need?
Can you identify a body for us?
We found an unidentified female victim in one of the mud baths at the spa.
My God. Portia. No!
Who's Portia?
Portia Wiseman. She's the manager at the spa. She's the only other one with a key. Just the thought that she might have been in there when it went up. I'm sorry. It's just horrible.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play for you in the world's smallest violin. So, will you come with us?
We can't be sure who she is until we get a positive identification.
Of course. Let me lock up here.
Ta-ta, then.
Oh, Portia. No. What were you doing in there?
Actually, we were hoping you could help us shed some light on that. Would you mind answering a few more questions?
Sure.
Hey, mine. Electric appeared. Did Portia have any reason to start that fire?
Had she mentioned any kind of health problems or filed any sort of complaint against your company?
No, nothing like that. Why?
She had mesothelioma, a type of cancer caused by asbestos.
Well, that's horrible, but what does it have to do with my company? I don't know anything about any asbestos.
The ceiling of the spa is coated with asbestos-laced paint.
Really? I guess I'll have to take your word for it. You really think Portia got cancer from working at the spa? Oh, she never said anything to me about it.
Was there anything unusual about Mrs. Wiseman's recent behavior?
Think back. Did she ever seem unusually angry or depressed?
Well, we weren't exactly close, but I got the feeling she was in a troubled relationship.
Why do you think she was having relationship problems?
Little things here and there, really.
Such as?
One Friday, I asked her if she had any fun plans for the weekend. Not really, she said. Just hanging out with the boyfriend. She said it like it was a root canal or something.
One bad weekend doesn't mean relationships had problems.
It wasn't just that. I think he hit her.
Why do you think that he hit her?
Well, Portia always seemed to like showing off her body. I even had to ask her once to wear more than just her bikini to work. But one week, a while back, I can't remember exactly when, she wore long-sleeve shirts every day, and she seemed depressed. When I asked her about it, she gave me some lame excuse about needing to do laundry. But when she thought I wasn't looking, I saw her rub her arm and wince.
What do you know about Portia's boyfriend?
Well, Portia was a very private person. I know almost nothing about her boyfriend, except what I was able to infer.
How was the business doing?
Was the spa making money?
Sure. I mean, it can always get better, right? But it was profitable.
Do you have any enemies?
Is there anyone you can think of who might have had a reason to start the fire at the spa?
No. I mean, who blows up a spa?
Could you give us Mrs. Wayneman's address?
She's not in the phone book. I looked.
Oh yes, I know where she lived. Let me write it down for you. I never got the chance to visit her. Here you go. So, I hate to ask, but is that everything you need from me right now? I have to come up with something to tell the board about why I let the insurance run out. And I can't really focus on that while I'm here.
I think we have what we need for now. You'll be at the barber shop if we need you?
I may have some errands to run, but I will be there for some time today, for sure.
Thanks, we'll be right back. Okay, so we now have the location of her house.
Las Vegas Crime Lab, drop the weapon now!
Driver's license says Brian Reed. You mind telling us why you were in Portia Weissman's apartment, Mr. Reed?
It's my girlfriend's apartment. Well, ex-girlfriend as of yesterday.
Do you break into all your ex-girlfriends' apartments?
What? No, I didn't break in. I have a key.
Come on, the door was bashed open and you were standing there with a sledgehammer.
The door was busted in when I got there, so I grabbed the tool just in case the guy who broke in was still hanging around. Hey, just call Portia. She's angry with me, but she'll back me up.
Alright, so
What do you do for a living, Brian?
Living? I'm kind of between jobs right now. I'm looking for something in construction, but I'm not having a lot of luck. I do have a couple of leads, though, so ask me in a week, maybe.
okay, what I like to do personally, which I didn't do in the previous game, I like to do this. Before I question the Vic, I like to go inside the house, get all the evidence, and then question the Vic. So, collection.
We need to find a shoe that matches this impression. It's made out of some kind of dirt. We should get a sample.
Of course we should. Because you can't get fingerprints, you can't cast it because it's not in mud, and obviously there's no fluid on it, so...
We can link the shoe impression to someone. Then this dirt might tell us where he's been.
Okay, so you can do the whole looking around, seeing if you've missed something, but of course you didn't. Then the door. What do you think we should do now? Of course, cast the thing.
Some of the marks here are thin and straight, but some are circular, just like the holes in the drywall at the spa.
Okay, look at that.
This isn't just a hammer. It looks like something off a fire truck.
Hey, I ran a background on Brian Reed. Turns out that up until last week, he was a captain with the Las Vegas Fire Department. His battalion chief told me Reed had a mixed service record, multiple commendations for bravery, but the guy was also on probation for insubordination. Well, when Reed failed a random drug test last week for the use of cannabis, they fired him.
This reminds me. The notorious serial arsonist John Leonard Orr was both a fire captain and an arson investigator.
Okay, so basically what we do in this area. Okay, we can open the drawer.
Storing something in the broiler pan. Guess it's a little late to warn Portia about the fire hazard. Dates and dollar amounts. It looks like a record of the spa's finances. Black hair pulled out at the root. Portia was a blonde, and Brian Reed has red hair. Someone else was here.
Can't get anything from the slippers. They won't speak. Alright. Seems like I got it all here.
The case is open, and the hard drive is missing.
Wonder if the fire boyfriend had anything to do with that. We'll just have to see, won't we? Let's see if we found everything in the apartment. We have. So now we go back to the lab, and then we ask them questions because we have more answers. We can get more truth out of it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to analyze the evidence I found. To compare this to the photo. This is a chemical. Okay, by the way, these records, I have no idea what to do with it. Because I can turn them around. See, I can't find anything on this. See, can't find anything on that either. Done.
It's largely made up of feldspar, clinopyroxene, and acetone. The minerals are found in volcanic ash, which is what they used to make the mud for the baths. And acetone was the accelerant used at the spa.
What the hell? Okay, so basically how this game works is you're supposed to match them. Now if you're looking at red, green, blue, if you're looking on the other side, it can actually go down. Red, green, blue. You can go down some more, but it never ever goes to red, green, blue. So obviously an indicator they're not a match. Microscope. There's nothing to compare it to because we need the tool that did it. And then the comparison, once again, you can use this. Oh, come on.
The axe head matches the thin slashes, and the hammer side matches the bigger holes. This tool, or one very similar to it, was used to ventilate the drywall at the spa.
Okay, so it also matches this.
Brian Reed's Denver tool is a match to the markings on Portia Weissman's door.
Okay. Now, if you go look at the evidence, there's a lot more marks right, but we're still missing some stuff. So now we can go and question your boyfriend, but first, let's see the dark. Dark, there's nothing. Okay, we've got something on the case file. What do we have? Cocoon appears. Feed the DNA. Share confess to the black eye we found. Reading is fun. What a mind job. Okay, so locations. Okay, buddy boy, spill the beans.
Mr. Reed. Or should I call you Captain Reed?
Not anymore. I'm no longer with the Las Vegas Fire Department.
There was a fire at the spa.
A fire? Oh, God. Is she okay?
Unfortunately, Miss Weissman never made it out of the mud bath.
You mean it can't be!
Mr. Reed, we're sorry for your loss.
A fire.
You didn't tell us you were a firefighter.
I bet you've seen a lot of buildings burn, and I bet you know a lot of ways to light them up.
You know something, buddy? You are way the hell out of line. I devoted my life to jumping into the flames and saving people. And I lost friends in those buildings I've seen burn. So for you to sit there and insinuate that I may be an arsonist is the most offensive thing anyone has ever said to me. And Portia? You think I set Portia on fire? I mean, I don't know what kind of animals you people have to deal with, but that's not me.
But you did get fired.
Being a firefighter was obviously very important to you. So it must have hurt to lose that.
Yeah, well, they were just looking for an excuse. I was actually trying to keep my head down.
You were on probation.
It was a tenement fire in the Alphabets. Battalion chief thought the place was coming down. Ordered me not to go back in. You'd think I might earn a little slack for telling the boss to piss off, but let me save a room full of kids. And again, if I'd stopped at piss off, maybe I would've.
You failed the drug test.
Portia made pot brownies. Now, she says she didn't dose me intentionally, but she did leave the damn things right where I would find them, and she didn't tell me what they were. I ate 3 of them. I could barely get out of bed for like a day and a half. I don't know how anyone can stand that stuff. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Happy Monday! Go pee in a cup!
You dumped her because she dosed you.
I dumped her because she got me fired from a job I loved.
Tell us about this tool.
It's a firefighting tool, isn't it?
It's called a Denver tool. Firefighters use it for getting into and out of places.
Places like apartments?
Only if they're on fire.
You didn't use your key.
We think you used your Denver tool to break Portia's door in.
I told you I got a key. Look, take it if you need it.
You see those marks? They line up perfectly with your Denver tool.
Mine or anybody else's. Even if it was a Denver tool, no firefighter did that. If I really wanted to bring that door down, I'd pry the hinges off. The last thing I'd do is hack at it like a maniac.
We suspect you for the fire.
The fire was set by someone with the knowledge to burn that building to the ground.
I don't care what you say. I would never start a fire.
The drywall at the spa was ventilated with a Denver tool.
Well, it wasn't my Denver tool. Anybody can buy one on the internet. Even Portia had one.
Why did Portia have a Denver tool?
She took mine. She wanted it for protection. Said it creeped her out to be alone in that place all day.
By that place, do you mean the spa?
Yeah, she had hers at the spa.
You know something? You're right. There are a lot of other Denver tools floating around out there. But in this case, I really only think there's one I need to worry about. And it belongs to you. You followed Portia to the spa, and when she was nice and relaxed in her mud bath, you torched the place. And then you went back to her apartment to get your things, and a few of her things too. And then you tried to disappear. I bet you figured, hey, if it looks like a break-in, then no one will suspect the boyfriend who's already got a key to the place, and that might have worked for you too. But you forgot to light a fire under yourself. You were still standing right there when we rolled up.
Captain, I respect the police. I really do. I know what it's like to go out there every day and put it all on the line. And I know you're just doing your job. But if you can look me straight in the eye and really hear what I'm saying to you, and yet still believe that I could do this to Portia, then I feel very, very sorry for you, because you're not qualified to carry that badge. Now, are you really gonna arrest me, or what?
No, we're not going to arrest you, Brian. But we'd appreciate if you could hold tight here for a while.
All right, I will. For now. And like I said, I'm happy to answer your questions, but no more finger-pointing, or I'm done.
We understand. Thank you.
Business at the spa was slow.
You said that Portia spent hours alone at the spa. How often did she do that?
Just about every day. You know, there were times I started to believe that place might be some sort of front.
A front?
Yeah, you know, for money laundering. Portia was convinced, and she was keeping her own records. She told me that place wasn't making a dime.
Where are the records?
Did anyone else know Portia was keeping financial records?
I think she might have mentioned it to her boss, which seemed like the wrong guy to talk to about it, but she trusted him. At least she did. But after she talked to him, she got all paranoid. Ended up hiding all the papers in the broiler drawer. I thought she was just high. Hey, you guys looking at him for this?
We're done for now.
Thanks for sticking around.
No problem. I'll be waiting.
It just gives me Brian Reed.
Hi. Sorry, I was shaving. Cut myself. What can I do for you?
We're looking for a tool.
Portia Weissman owned a firefighting tool. She kept it at the spa for security. Have you seen it?
No. She had some kind of weapon at the spa? That's totally against company policy.
We're going now.
We'll be back.
Looking forward to it.
Good catch. That should contain a workable sample of his DNA.
Get inside quickly. Collection.
Meet Baja's DNA, ready for processing.
The lab. To the lab. DNA, if I remember correctly, is this side. Okay, so this is where it comes in, right? You're looking here. Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Right here, red, green, blue. Yellow, yellow. Only here where yellow, yellow is. Okay, then there's a green, green. Once again, one place where there's a green, green. Red, blue, green.
Baja was in Portia Weissman's apartment, even though he told us he'd never been there.
How's the arson case? Is your decorated fireman still a prime suspect?
I'm not so sure now. He's got an answer for everything. And what I thought was the best evidence we had against him, his firefighting tool, well, it doesn't actually provide us with anything conclusive. On top of that, the spa's owner, Pete Baja, lied to us about never visiting the victim's apartment.
All right. Well, talk to Brass. See if he can help you take a closer look at this, Mr. Baja.
All right. You're down here already. I was just going to call you. This is Special Agent Gene Huntby of the FBI. It seems your case may be crossing into his jurisdiction. Agent Huntby, why don't I let you explain the situation to them?
Thank you, Captain Brass. It's my understanding your prime suspect in the arson fire at the Superla Spa is Pedro Baxa. Is my information correct?
We're looking at him for the arson and a homicide. A young woman by the name of Portia Weissman died in the fire.
Is that right? Well, let me explain why I'm here. Are you familiar with La Reina de la Colmena? Unfortunately, as a member of law enforcement, you should be. In Spanish, it means the Queen of the Hive, and it's the alias for a woman named Beatriz Salazar, now the most dangerous drug lord in Mexico. We believe Pedro Baxa was in her employ.
Okay. So is this the part where you tell us to back off, Mr. Baxa, and let you do your job?
No, Ms. Seidel, not at all. I want you to get your man. I want you to get him so bad he'll have no choice but to cut a deal. You see, in the entire universe of La Reina de la Colmena's drug trafficking operation, Baja's just a satellite, a small-time money launderer through those little shops of his. But for some reason, we have him on wiretaps in direct communication with Salazar. The taps themselves are useless because Baxa and Salazar communicate in code, referring to things like family, weather, whatever. But why she's talking to him directly instead of through an intermediary, I have no idea. But it's that direct connection that means, if we can bring down Baxa, then we have our best shot yet at taking down the Queen of the Hive herself.
Agent Huntby has requested the opportunity to keep tabs on us for a while, and run this one as a joint jurisdiction.
You do your thing, I'll do mine.
Based on what evidence?
See, I could use this, but no. I could use this. No, I couldn't. Use this? No, I couldn't. But Pete Baxa's hair from the curtain in Portia Weissman's loft, that I can definitely use.
I was there when Baxa said he'd never been in Portia Weissman's apartment. His DNA in that apartment will get you your warrant.
Because he's lying to me. He's lying to us all.
Mr. Baxa, Las Vegas Police, open up. Looks like he's not here. Guess we'll have to execute the warrant without him.
I'm falling asleep.
Score 1 for the lockpick gun. Always cleaner than breaking out the battering ram.
Okay, so now, looking inside the shop, there's nothing here in the immediate vicinity. I did check down the place before. Not even the weird fish is weird. Now, in this section here, you'll find a lot of stuff. Like for instance here, you have to open the drawer. You need only to look for the white page located here.
These tax forms claim that Superla Spa was highly profitable.
Which it weren't.
Looks like an empty financial or legal portfolio. With the spa's logo on it, those records we found in the Vic's oven are just the kind you'd keep in a binder like this. Vegan blueberry muffins. They look almost edible and flammable.
So in other words, something you don't want to eat, right?
Look at that. The hard disk isn't screwed in. It might just be new, but the Vic's PC was missing a hard drive. We can figure it out back at the lab. know a lot about a person from the kind of shoes they wear. You can tell a lot more if you forensically examine their shoes.
Yeah, I like that part. But I'm gonna kind of rush things along a little bit because I'm really falling asleep right here.
I wonder why they need so much acetone. Place is a little too masculine for manicures.
Okay, so you can't get up here. No.
These shears are made for cutting pipes, and we have a severed gas line to account for.
No. Kitty cat.
It's a pretty full print. Good clarity on the sample, too.
Look what's in the corner over here.
Looks just like the tool we got from Reed.
If I remember correctly, this should be all the evidence I can find at this location, and I am 110% correct. So, once again, first of all, examine the loose items. So, papers you can't do anything with. This paper you can't do anything with. You can basically turn them around. Basically turn them around. Yeah, not much you can do there. Something like this.
I would expect that to be Pete Baja's fingerprint, since we found the ledger in his office.
With the muffins, you can't do anything. It's blueberries. By the way, I was wrong when I said raisins. It's blueberries. The hard drive as well. Nothing can be found on this thing. Not fingerprints. Not nothing.
Looks like some kind of dried mud.
Okay, and the other evidence is up top here.
Just where someone would hold a shoe when putting it on.
Yeah, the acetone's got nothing on it. This thing got nothing on it. This thing, however.
That can tell us who handled this tool.
Okay, so now we got all the information from the equipment. Now we can insert it in. We already know that this fingerprint belongs to her. That fingerprint belongs to the other guy. So now we can start matching evidence. Is that a match? Oh yes.
Pete Baja's prints are on the toolbox in his office, which is not exactly a surprise, but it does suggest that the contents are his.
Okay, so we're continuing on with Pete Baja. Notice how this one doesn't match anyway. It doesn't. Take this evidence. Voila.
It wasn't Baja's fingerprint, but why would he have a ledger with Portia's prints on it? Based on the placement of Baja's fingerprint, those have got to be his shoes. Portia Weissman used this tool. It might be the one Brian Reed told us she was keeping at the spa.
Again, in medical database is nothing but computer analyst. You can at least find the stuff on the hard drive.
What's this? Trend Micro Internet Security Pro has detected a virus. Repair. Looks like someone's been practicing unsafe surfing. Okay, let's see what Pete has on this hard drive. Cat pictures, puzzle games, and Portia Weissman's monthly household budget. Looks like we found the drive that was missing from the computer in the loft.
So yeah, that's done. Now we're going this side.
It's a vegan blueberry muffin, just like it said on the package. Factor out the carbon, and the muffin that helped ignite the fire is identical to the ones we found in Baja's office. Almost pure acetone. No fragrances, no dye. Very few impurities at all. More volcanic minerals and acetone. The shoes tie Pete Baxa to the spot just prior to the explosion. I think we may have enough to nail Baxa for starting the fire. His shoes put him in the spa sometime after the acetone was dumped. He'd picked up quantities of both the accelerant and the spa mud.
So basically, if you want to go one better, you can match these two, but they're the only two that match. I did that already, okay. Okay, it's very simple because what I want to do is exactly this. The microscope. You go under evidence. Put this one and this one next to each other. Line up the focus. See.
Look at how the imperfections on the blade match up to the markings on the gas line. These shears were used to cut that gas line.
Documental analysis is obviously nothing. Leave the fucking help and go to the evidence button, you moron.
Each side of the tool matches one of the distinct shapes ventilating the spa's drywall. Brian Reed's Denver tool is just as likely to have been used to help spread the fire as the tool we recovered from the barber shop.
I don't know why it keeps jumping to the help button. Like, seriously.
The tool from the barber shop could have been used to break into Portia's apartment. Portia kept her Denver tool at the spa, right where Pete Baxa could have easily taken it. Okay, I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened. Baxa was laundering money, and when Portia confronted him about it, he panicked. Then he decided to rig the spa to explode. Portia probably showed up after Pete was gone. Doc Robbins said she had marijuana in her system, so she might not have noticed the acetone. While she was there burning to death, Baxa was at her apartment looking for the record she was keeping. With what we have now, an arrest warrant won't be a problem. Let's go talk to Brass.
Good, you're all here.
What's going on, Captain Brass? What's so sensitive you couldn't discuss it over the phone?
We have a visitor. Miss Beatriz Salazar.
You serious? She's here?
The Queen of the Hive herself just walked in and asked to talk to the CSIs in charge of the Pedro Baxa case.
Do you mind if I sit in on this one, Captain Brass?
Be my guest, you can even take my seat. I'll hang back and watch from the viewing room.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. and steal my thunder, because I'm not done yet. Can you wait so I can... Okay, this I already did.
It's a match. The hair placed Baja in Portia's apartment, but the footprint puts him there sometime after visiting the spa.
Now I'm done. Oh wait, there's one more thing. I think I processed everything now. Let's just make sure we've got everything from the doctor. Maybe found some other things. Maybe we didn't.
Hello, Ms. Salazar. My name is Special Agent...
Gene Huntby. I know who you are. But these two, I am unfamiliar with. I shall presume you are the ones persecuting my poor, clumsy Pedrocito.
We're not persecuting anyone. The evidence speaks for itself, ma'am.
Why are you here?
Usually when someone wants to talk to us in this room, they want to confess. So, is there something you'd like to get off your chest, Ms. Salazar?
You think you're very clever, don't you? Perhaps I know you better than I thought, but I'm here for Pedro. He is family.
Family, huh? You know, I might actually be moved by that if you weren't still the primary suspect in the execution murder of your first husband.
My husband's murderer remains at large, Agent Huntby. Pedro is from Ayapa, my village in Mexico. He graduated from the school I built for them and prayed in the church I gave them. Pedro's family, all three of his sisters, they live in the house I provide. So as you can see, I have a significant investment in the future and well-being of this young man.
Pedro is going to jail.
Sorry about your investment, but like I said, the evidence speaks for itself. And it never lies.
What precisely is this evidence saying to you?
We're not at liberty to discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation.
Very well, I understand. My heart breaks for Pedro. He always tried so very hard to please me. Sometimes a man is called upon to be more than he has been in the past. Sometimes he fails.
It's funny enough, the same words you're going to hear out of his mouth just now.
Operations the size of this one, they tend to run right under the radar, making them perfect little laundromats for hundreds of thousands of dollars of your petty cash.
And remind me again, Agent Huntby, why I should need to launder money when I too am a very successful, multinational, legitimate businesswoman? My Pedro was a legitimate small businessman.
Bullshit. Financial record showing the spa did little business.
Superla Spa wasn't doing nearly as much business as he was reporting.
Oh dear. First you zero in on poor Pedro, and now it sounds like you're investigating me. Shall I get my lawyer? Shall I go?
We don't need to go there right now.
A woman is dead because Pete Baja was trying to clean up a mess. Do you think it was his own? Or yours?
I think if this evidence is speaking to you, miss, then something must be lost in the translation. Regardless of whatever mess there was, Pedro is incapable of violence.
What surprises you about the dead woman?
Pedrocito got in over his head, didn't he, B?
That's Miss Salazar to you, Agent Huntby. I do not believe courtesy is too much to ask from an agent of the FBI, But then again, why should I expect anything else from a man who is so clearly prepared to scapegoat a young man like my Pedro? Pedro is not a murderer.
You're very bold to come here.
Aren't you afraid you'll leave some trace of yourself behind? A hair or flake of skin? Something with your DNA that we might be able to use against you.
Wouldn't want to make your job more difficult than it has to be. I believe I have made myself very clear to you. I shall not waste any more of your time. Muchas gracias.
What the hell was all that about? I mean, what'd she think she was going to accomplish?
Hey, about that arrest warrant for Baja. Nevada Highway Patrol was able to track him down. The bad news is, he's dead. I need you to meet me at the barber shop. See you there. Two police officers came by to serve that arrest warrant again. They found him like this. Called it in.
Is that a video camera?
It's aimed right at him.
My name is Pedro Baxa. I'm an embezzler and a murderer. I set fire to the Superla Spa in order to cover up the fact that, for some time now, I have been fraudulently reporting its earnings. I poured acetone all over, cut the gas line, and left a muffin to burn in the toaster oven. I wasn't going to do the drywall, but that tool was there, and I was nervous. I swear to God, the place was empty when I rigged it to go up. I didn't know. How could I know that Portia would come by in the middle of the night? I even went to her apartment to talk her into giving me the records she told me about. When she wasn't there, I broke in. It was made crystal clear to me that I needed to get the records. But I never found them. I know it's small comfort, but I apologize to her family and to anyone close to her. I'm so sorry for taking her away. Sometimes a man is called upon to be more than he has been in the past. Sometimes he fails. Please, tell my sisters this. I made a deal with the devil to keep you safe, to give you a better life. I beg you to remember me if you are ever tempted to make a deal of your own. So it's come to this. Goodbye.
So all the forensic evidence supports what Pete Baja confessed to on the video?
Yes, it does. But Pete Baja's confession wasn't for us, was it?
Neither was his suicide. I think he was trying to make amends.
To his queen.
Well, this case may not have resolved itself the way Agent Huntby had hoped. Now he'll have to find another way to trap Salazar. But regardless, you guys did some very good work on this one.
Speaking of good work, I'm glad you didn't have to arrest Brian Reed. I was reviewing his service record, and despite the disciplinary actions, he was a very brave firefighter. Won a Medal of Valor for saving a gymnasium full of high school kids. It's a shame what happened to him. He certainly deserves a second chance.
You know what? I think the deputy fire chief just might owe me a favor.
Skill 78. I got all these achievements, but didn't get the full game. So that is CSI Fatal Conspiracy Episode 1. So what we're going to do now is we're going to raid on someone's parade. As per the norm. I'm just going to leave this flicker. I hope to flicker on. Let's see who we're going to raid tonight. Ooh, Papa J Dub is playing the mortuary assistant.
Back to the Baja.
Let's raid Papa J Dub.
So we're gonna have to drop you for now. Alrighty then.
I haven't
Pick you
raided
back
him in
up.
a while.
Come with me. Wunderbar.
So, let's do this.
Kismet, you're going back to sleep. Sleep well. Do you have this on custom settings? This is default.
So guys,
This should
thank
be
you so
default,
much for
yeah.
watching. I hope you enjoy Papa J Dub. From me, Max
Artery
Gene.
forceps, the tubulars,
See you guys next week for the
and
next
let's drain you,
episode.
baby. Let's get you nice and empty. Followed by fill an IV bag, which is there. Let's fill you nice and full. And then with the IV bag, we use the trocar. Beautiful.